Welcome to the PharmaSource podcast.
Today I'm joined by Magdalena Kulczycka, founder of the Biotech Innovation Institute, a molecular biologist turned biotech ecosystem builder who works to develop Poland's life sciences sector. She'll be sharing why Poland is emerging as a strategic hub for pharmaceutical R&D and manufacturing partnerships, and what opportunities this presents for companies looking to expand their networks in Central and Eastern Europe. So thanks for joining me, Magdalena. So let's start with your background then. So you've worked across labs, investment funds, tech transfer, and leading industry associations. So how did that career path unfold, and what sort of connects those different roles for you?
Hi, thank you very much for having me here. It's a pleasure. So my career was always been about building bridges between science, business, and impact. And I started in molecular biology, working at the bench with a pipette. But very quickly I realized that great research needs the right ecosystem to reach patients or the market. So that realization led me into tech transfer and venture investments, and later into ecosystem building. And what connects all these roles is a single mission: to help innovate research move from concept to commercialization. And that's why I have founded the Biotech Innovation Institute, to provide the strategic and operational support for biotech projects and help them to mature faster into successful companies, mostly from CE region and with specific and special highlight on the Polish scene.
Interesting. And so Poland's biotech sector has evolved significantly over the past few decades.
Yes.
So how has the country's economic and political transformation shaped the entrepreneurial mindset of Polish scientists?
So Poland has gone through an incredible transformation over the past 30 years, economically, politically, and culturally. And we have moved from a central planned system to one of the most dynamic innovation economies in Europe. This shift has created a new generation of scientists who are not only excellent researchers, but also emerging entrepreneurs. They're commercializing their ideas, building teams, and creating real-world value. And it's a very exciting time because that entrepreneurial mindset didn't exist at this scale a decade ago. So right now we are witnessing a dramatic shift in the mindset, which results in an entrepreneur rise.
Great, so let's talk geography and scale. For pharma companies and CDMOs who might be listening, what's the compelling case for looking at Poland? What might they be missing?
So Poland is the largest life science market in Central and Eastern Europe, with over 40 million people, world-class researchers, as mentioned before, and cost-to-quality ratio that's very hard to beat. But beyond being the sixth largest economy in EU, there's something deeper: the energy and ambition of the people. Polish biotech teams are fast, creative, and open to collaboration. And for Western partners, this means access to growing R&D hub right in the heart of Europe, one that can strengthen both innovation pipelines and supply chain resilience that we have witnessed troubleshootings during the recent pandemics.
Great, so Poland's overall economy has been growing rapidly. But how would you characterize the biotech sector's growth trajectory? Is there a similar level of growth, or is there a gap there?
Yeah, that's a very good question. And I would say that they're both expanding, but biotech is moving faster than the rest of the economy. And this sector has matured enormously in the past few years. We are seeing a shift from service-based models to proprietary science developed in-house by companies. It's a natural evolution, and it's happening right now in Poland being a leader in CE region.
Interesting. So when international partners evaluate Poland for R&D collaborations or development work, what capabilities would they find there? What's the kind of depth of scientific and technical expertise available?
Yes, well, they find an impressive depth of talent and infrastructure. Academic base is based in molecular biology, medicinal chemistry, and bioinformatics is very strong. Increasingly, Polish laboratories are highly equipped, and some of them are compliant with GLP and GMP standards that are so important for biopharma. And our scientists are globally trained, multilingual, and open to joint development. Therefore, it's easy to find partners for collaboration.
Right, and so you've represented Polish biotechs across the global community. What surprises international partners the most when they actually engage with Polish companies for the first time?
Yeah, that's a good question, because many expect early stage operations and discover instead highly professional, innovation driven organizations that provide fast, flexible, and genuinely interested partners, and that provide good quality results. That is so important for development of any biopharmaceutical innovation. That's why many people are coming to Poland without knowing anything about this market, and they're so surprised that there are actually no polar bears on the streets. Instead, they find really interesting and smart partners for developing the biotechnological projects.
Interesting. So where do you think this preconception comes from then?
Prejudice, and also not having information about this sector. That's why I'm highly encourage everyone to come over to Warsaw and keep in touch with Biotech Innovation Institute, serving as a single point of contact to find the right partner for your business.
Great. And so in terms of geographic position, how does where Poland sits translate into kind of practical advantages for manufacturing networks or supply chain resilience?
Yes, this is a very important aspect, and I come across this question many times when I'm talking with international companies, and every time I'm highlighting the strategic location of Poland that sits in the heart of Europe, and that gives a unique logistical advantage. For manufacturing networks, it means shorter delivery times, better cost control, and the ability of serve multiple markets from one base, because Poland is very well connected with surrounding CE countries. So strategically, it also strengthens European overall supply chain resilience. So important, as mentioned before.
Yeah. So from your experience then, what are the most common mistakes you see international companies make when trying to establish partnerships in Poland?
So one common mistake is assuming that what works in other countries will work the same way in Poland. And it's not really like that, because each ecosystem has its own rhythm and relationship dynamics. And that's why I suggest engaging early with local organizations such as Biotech Innovation Institute or the Polish Investment and Trade Agency to understand better the operational nuances in Poland. Then that would facilitate building very strong and fruitful collaborations, and therefore would help you to save time in finding the right partner and establishing such relationships.
Yeah, so what's your approach as one such association to kind of help establish fruitful and long-lasting relationships?
So first of all, it's spreading the news and spreading the knowledge, and secondary, linking international partners with the right counterparts from Polish ecosystem. and further on facilitating the connection by translating what each counterpart needs, or just connecting the right people. I think this is the most important part of the business.
Yeah, absolutely. So can you characterize Poland's biotech landscape for us? What stages are most companies at, and what types of innovation are they focused on? Are there sort of any trends there?
So there is a huge variety of Polish biotech companies, but the majority of them are still in the proof of concept or early clinical phase. But the pace of innovations is really high. And so we are seeing breakthroughs in immuno-oncology, gene therapy, diagnostics, and AI-assisted drug discovery. And many of these ventures are spin-offs from academia that have learned to think like startups. And then further on, they're growing into more mature entities up to bigger ones. And there are also a few big manufacturing sites that are also developing their innovative projects in-house.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So in terms of manufacturing then, because obviously the PharmaSource podcast is very focused on outsourcing and CDMO relationships. And what does Poland's contract services landscape look like?
So, having said, due to the historical consequences, Poland has strong expertise in bioprocessing, formulation, and small molecule APA production. And a number of CDMO type organizations now offer integrated services from preclinical R&D to and analytical support, of course, up to GMP manufacturing. So it's a fill and finish pipeline covered. International sponsors are increasingly realizing that Polish companies offer both high quality services and short time of realization of the order. And therefore, Poland can be considered as a country where you can find a reliable CDMO partners.
Great.
Yeah.
And so Poland's been in the EU for over 20 years now. So how aligned are quality systems and regulatory expectations and sort of manufacturing standards with what international partners would expect from Western European and kind of EU suppliers?
Biopharmaceutical business is a global business. And if you want to function in this ecosystem, you need to meet the world standards. And Poland follows both EMA regulations with some facilities also holding the FDA for certifications. So this is a golden standard that is also applied by Polish companies. So there is no compliance hurdle, there is no gap. So definitely Polish organizations can bring a lot to international collaborations.
Interesting. And so looking ahead then, sort of 5 years, where do you see Poland's position in the European pharma manufacturing landscape evolving? Where do you see the biggest opportunities?
Oh yeah, that's a tricky question because in the current world changing so fast, it's pretty difficult to foresee what is going to happen in 5 years, right? But my assumption is that Poland will become one of the key R&D and manufacturing hub for Central Europe because of the leading role in the region. And I see huge importance of cross-border collaboration and projects developed with companies from different countries. And this can facilitate the growth of the startup community and this buzz happening across the companies. So in order to speed up the development of the innovative technologies. It's crucial.
And so finally then, what is one key message you want leaders to understand about Poland's life science sector?
So what I would like our listeners to the podcast is to take key messages such as that Poland is no longer an emerging market, it's a partnering market. Because we have the talent, we have the infrastructure, and we have the collaborative mindset needed to co-create innovations. So working with Poland means partnering with quality, flexibility, and long-term relations.
Interesting, that's great. Well, thanks a lot for your time, Magdalena. It's been really, really interesting. I've learned
Thank
a
you
lot
very
about-
much for having me here, and I'm very grateful that I could bring Polish market to the broader audience.